What's going on, guys? Obviously, it's CaptainObviouzX. What I got for you guys today is another Black Ops 2 gameplay commentary, and today I'll be talking about the most recent patch notes for the PlayStation 3 version of the game. It'll be 1.04 version. It came out on the 6th of December, which was yesterday at around 11 o'clock p.m., but nobody got out a video about that, you know, at 12 p.m. last night, or 12 a.m. if it's the morning. So, this is the earliest I can get this video out for you guys, so all you PS3 guys who play Black Ops 2 know exactly what is happening to your system after downloading this update today. You know, I gotta hand it to Treyarch for all their updates they always put out for Call of Duty, because this is one of the most fantastic updates I've ever seen for a game that's coming out about, it's about 3 or 4 weeks after release date? 3 weeks. 3 weeks after release date. This is probably one of the most solid updates I've ever seen. It's about the size of a Battlefield 3 update that they release every 3 months. So this is very, very nice. I'm happy Treyarch's doing this. It's only for PlayStation 3 at this moment, but hopefully Xbox will come out within the week with hopefully the same exact changes plus a few more here and there. So, the first things first, I'm going to go through this in sort of categories. I'll read through the changes within, you know, groups of like 5 or 10, and then I'll talk through the current, you know, the updates I just talked about and to give you my opinions of those. I'm not going to go through each and every one and explain each and every one because some of them are not really too important. Alright. So the first category is new features and feature improvements. They're adding support for posting live stream URLs to Twitter. They're improving audio and rumble responsiveness when hitting enemies with gunfire. Improved overall communication of double XP when enabled. AAR better communicates how much XP was earned in each match. Added the ability to view league teams from any player's player card, Added the ability to view player card from league solo leaderboards. Added a number of security system enhancements. Very good. Added hardcore kill confirm playlist to the hardcore category. Now, overall, the new features and improvements they're adding to this section is, you know, it's minor, but it's welcome. I like how they're improving the communication of double XP because not everybody, when they actually activate double XP for the entire game, not everybody is unfortunately getting it. So hopefully this will improve the fact that more people will get their double XP when they're really supposed to be getting it. They're also adding support for posting the live stream URLs to Twitter, making it a little bit easier for people to podcast their, you know, league play games when they want to, which is nice as well. And the final thing that I really think is really, really big is they're adding a number of security system enhancements, which will make hacking harder to do, which will make glitching harder to do, which will make bugging and all that stuff a lot more difficult to do in online games, which is very, very nice. Keeping the game, you know, fun for everybody, making sure nobody flips out because of a hacker or a glitcher, which is nice. So the next section is called Issues Addressed. There's about, I think, 40 or so changes here. I'll read through about 10 and then go over the past 10 I read about. Fixed a rare hang, quote-unquote, awaiting textures upon loading into maps when joining a session in progress after fresh boot. Games now reset the care package for a non-owner if the owner re-rolls the package using the engineer perk. I guess that's, you know, to counter an enemy re-roll of a care package. Players with the Black Hat PDA can no longer hack a care package faster than the owner can capture it. That is huge. Address an exploit where modified console hackers can maliciously spread infected films to other users. Added a fail-safe to prevent spawn trapping and capture the flag. Increased site checks on turrets to improve spawning algorithms. Fixed a number of new UI error messages reported by users. Addressed a number of issues that would cause friendly/enemy color indicators on equipment and score streaks to display as the wrong team. Alright, there really isn't anything too big here. The only thing I'm going to point out is the fact that they're increasing site checks on turrets so you can't really spawn camp as easily, so that we have a you know, a sentry gun watching a specific spawn area, and once the person would spawn, the sentry gun would lock onto them. They're fixing around their spawn system so that when they have a sentry gun in the area, you won't spawn in that area near the sentry gun, which is nice. And the other big thing is they're making sure that you can't capture an enemy care package with a PDA faster than the actual owner who dropped the care package and capture it. That is really game breaking for people who like to run PDAs and capture enemies' care packages. The enemy, if you watch them call that care package, will never ever get their care package because of that Black Hat. So thank God they're fixing this up to make sure that people actually get their care packages when they call them in. Improved overall theater and live stream stability. Improved film rendering stability and made progression bar more accurate with rendering a film. Addressed issues which prevented some master challenges from being completed. Precision challenge wet work will now unlock with 10 kills. The wins challenge will now account for free-for-all modes when ending a match with a tie if you're in the top 3. Players that help with the synchronized attack challenge now get credit for it. Players will not be able to manually take control of their AGR if they die at the exact moment that their AGR deploys. Emblem editor no longer closes the current emblem when discarding changes. Players using Ghost will no longer be invisible at all times in custom games with the minimap option set to constant. Players using Ghost and Suppressor attachment will no longer appear on the enemy's minimap while shooting and moving while the enemy UAV is up. I'm going to stop right here. That is huge. So if you guys are using Ghost and a Suppressor, even though you're moving, you will still be on the enemy's minimap. That is really, 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 really big. So if you guys are using Ghost, do not use a Suppressor with that class because it's going to completely nullify the effects of Ghost. That is really, really big. I may make a video about that in the future, showing you guys exactly what happened with that. There really isn't anything too big I want to, exemplify on that section of the patch notes. So I'm just going to move on from there. Alright, so they're going to fix the median for the KD graph in the after action report, which is AAR, if you guys see in the actual patch notes. They're changing it to 1.0 instead of 0.0. So that line that you guys see when you look at your KD in that game or your past 5 games, the line that is, highlighted, I think it's either yellow or green. Don't quote me on that. They're going to change that to 1.0. So it's not 0.0 anymore, it's 1.0. Players can no longer get on top of the shrubs in Nuketown 2025. Thermal vision overlay no longer appears using the VTOL glitch. What VTOL glitch? I didn't even know there was a VTOL glitch. That's great. The fact that they're patching something that I didn't even know about it, that's good. Kills from explosion on the explosive crossbow bolt now count towards challenges. Counter UAV no longer remains for the rest of the game after a host migration. Clan tag is no longer locked immediately after prestiging. Offline profiles can no longer be exploited to join online games with an online profile is also assigned to it. Multi-team games no longer count as a tie if the entire team quits. Wow. Fix an area in Express where K9 unit dogs could get stuck. EMP grenades no longer affect the Codcaster HUD. Party privacy count no longer affects how many bolts will spawn in combat training. That was a little typo there. Shadows seen through sniper scopes now render more correctly. Players can no longer stand on invisible collision and carrier. Dropshot metal is no longer rewarded after standing back up. Players can now copy a custom class to the extra prestige slot. Alright, so overall, the issues addressed section of this patch is minor, but there's a few huge changes in there, especially with the ghost thing, the black hat PDA, and the care package thing, and the spawning algorithms with the sentry gun. So nice changes in there, but the next, section of the patch notes is the biggest yet. Now we got gameplay balancing. There's huge change in here, which is going to make me like to play the game a little bit more, and other people not get frustrated with the game. Alright, so they're increasing the score streak cost of a UAV from 350 points to 425. This is huge. Now UAVs will be up in the air less because they take more points to get, and they're also in competition with, I believe, the care packages around there, and also the hunter-killer drone. So you guys can no longer run a UAV and a hunter-killer drone at the same exact time. I think, don't quote me on that because I'm not looking at the score streaks at this point, so don't quote me on that. They're also adding a 750 millisecond delay for the lightning strike, so it doesn't come in instantly after you call it in, which is nice. The Bouncy Betty, they've increased the grace period between trigger and activation by 200 milliseconds. The Sentry Grenade has now been increased in its range to 1,000 units. The frequency is now 800 milliseconds between its ping, and the amount of time it lasts for is 6 seconds. They've added increased hipfire recoil, with all the SMGs, increased maximum hipfire spread with all the SMGs from 4.75 to 5. They've reduced bullet penetration with SMGs. The MSMC and the PDW-57 have all received increased recoil. Now we got assault rifles. Every single assault rifle in the game has received reduced idle sway, which allows for more reliable long-range aiming. The XM8, which is that ridiculously powerful 4-shot burst assault rifle, the reduced of its lethal kill range. They reduced the lethal kill range of this weapon from 250 inches, which is pretty far, to 50 inches. You will no longer get a 3-shot kill with the XM8 out to 250 inches, only 50 inches, which is hyper close range combat. The XM8 plus select fire has also received increased recoil, which is nice. They've also fixed the FAL OSW with select fire and giving it increased recoil, and the SWAT 556 with select fire will also get increased recoil. Meaning you guys who run around with those weapons in close range for your 3-shot or 2-shot kills, it's not going to be as easy anymore because you have higher recoil. The MTAR has also received an auto-aim fix to make sure that its auto-aim values are consistent with all other assault rifles. I'm not sure if this is higher auto-aim values or lower auto-aim values. Not quite certain about that yet. The sniper rifles have all received increased hipfire spread, and all the sniper rifles with laser sight attached have received an increased hipfire spread, meaning no scoping is more difficult now, and more luck-based. The XPR-50 has also received an increase to its recoil. These shotguns, and there's only one change here, is that the R870 has had a reduced one-shot kill range by 45 inches. Not sure what that is in terms of changes from the current thing in the game right now to the post-patch changes. Not sure about that, but I'm assuming it's going to be a minor change due to the fact that the 870 does, 50 damage per pellet. So I'm assuming it's not going to be too big, but there is a potential there for a big change in terms of its one-shot kill potential. And the pistols, there's only two changes here. The B23R and the Cat40 have both received reduced headshot multipliers from 1.4 to 1.0. So shooting for a head with these two weapons is useless. Don't do it anymore. So overall opinions of this patch, it's great. I'm so happy they actually got this thing out within 3 weeks of the game coming out. There are so many great changes in here, so many needed changes in here, especially with those weapon balancing issues. Hopefully people will use the assault rifles more often than the SMGs now, and hopefully they've actually made it easier to play in terms of less UAVs in the air. It really bothers me the fact that I feel like I have to use Ghost to actually move around in the game because there's so many UAVs in the sky. Hopefully people will use UAVs a little bit less now. And all those changes to the actual core gameplay components are nice as well. There's one thing missing, and that is the reduced latency and, lag compensation. Hopefully that comes out later, because will this patch make me want to play Black Ops 2 again if it comes out on Xbox 360 and they have the same exact changes? Maybe. I can't say anything for certain yet. But until they fix the lag compensation and latency issues for me and 70% of their fan base, I don't know if I will be playing this game in a few months. So we'll see what happens with that. Great patch, Treyarch. Triple thumbs up. Great. Well done. Can't say anything else about it, except for the fact that you have no fixes to lag in there. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That really does help out a lot. Follow my Twitter. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.